so excited to kick off our next month's worth of training and inspiration around our sense of smell. So this is Crystal O'Loughlin. I'm joining you from Angel Aid Cares, and we are a community dedicated to elevating the spirits and minds and hearts of mothers of children with rare diseases. And with me is Nicole DeAvilla. Hi, Nicole.
Hello.
Hello. So Nicole and I have known each other for quite some time. She is a just a skilled leader in so many different holistic health practices, including yoga, including aromatherapy, and what I would call heart therapy. So we are just really fortunate to have Nicole here to guide us. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to you, and we'll jump in on aromatherapy basics.
All right. Thank you, Crystal. And thank you for inviting me to this group. I just think what you're doing is really wonderful. And I know how important community is for all of us to be together and to share and support each other. And I'm just honored to be invited to help and be part of this community. So today we're going to be talking about essential oils for beginners. And, like everybody, I once was a beginner. I had known people who mixed essential oils and kind of dabbled in them off and on. But at a certain point when I was a mom, when my kids were older, actually, a lot of old injuries snuck up on me. I was starting to go through hormonal shifts, moving into menopause, and I was a wreck. I had all my joints were hurting. I had systemic swelling, which is like inflammation throughout my body. And where I had been very active growing up, riding horses and training them and doing dance and running track. And when you do all those things, you get injured. It's just, part of being active. But what was happening is the pain of all these things were coming back and being just really a downer. I'll just put it that way, because the pain just starts to, psychologically also bring your mood down. And I used yoga and yoga therapy, and it helped me so much. It took away a lot of the radiating pain that was going down my arms, the radiating pain down my backs. It brought me to a place where I could breathe, and deal with it. But I still was experiencing a lot of pain. And then these, as I said, the issues with the hormones and not being able to sleep, which then when you can't sleep, that compounds the way you feel. And something told me that, some essential oils might be good, but also something told me don't just rush to the grocery store and just buy whatever's on the shelf. And so I was basically, putting out to the universe, what's my next step? And I was invited to an essential oils 101 class. This is like not the full class, but you're going to get a little bit of what I learned and how essential oils really made a huge difference in my life. So to start with, what are essential oils? And one of the things is the name itself is confusing because they're not oils like olive oil. They are very different. In fact, we sometimes use what we call carrier oils with these to spread them out and make them go longer, or to dilute them, and so forth. So they're not that type of oil, but they are very, very special. And as I said, they have made all the difference in my life, where I'm just feeling like, I feel like I'm getting younger instead of older in many ways, by living this lifestyle that's really supportive through the yoga and the essential oils, which is huge. So the definition of essential oils is that they're natural, highly concentrated compounds found in the roots, the bark, the seeds, the flowers, or other areas of a plant. So depending on whether, like, you see an orange, for example, wild orange, the oil of abundance. I mean, just think of it right now when you peel an orange and that first spray, you kind of smell. And I don't know if you've ever just crushed the orange peel and smell that. That's some of the, you're smelling some of those volatile oils. They're very concentrated compounds in the peel of the orange, or maybe it's the grapefruit. And I've even just smelled it. That's getting my aromatherapy, and just squeeze it, and even just like put it on my pulse points, and I'm getting, and then it's with me a little bit longer. So just think of that's something you can do as well. So that's an example where it's actually in the peel that we get it. Some of them, like vetiver, is we get the root. We use the root for that. Some are from trees, like frankincense or copaiba, lavender, the flowers, and so all areas of the plants contain these essential oils, and depending on where they're strongest and where they give us the most benefit will be where they're extracted from, which is different from each plant. Though sometimes it's can be like some of the trees, it's the bark, the wood, the branches, all the different parts are sometimes used, or sometimes they're separated out. So the essential oils it's what gives a plant its aroma. And think about it again like herbs. If you have peppermint and you crush that again, just think of how delightful that is. It's the oil of joy, actually. It's very uplifting, that peppermint, and it's just peppy. It gives us this extra energy and pep, right? And just any of the herbs, like this is showing rosemary, basil, marjoram, oregano, cilantro, thyme. If you have an herb garden, you know what it's like to just pick those, to crush them and smell them. And that's part of the aroma and the essential oil. But they do more than just have nice smells that make us feel a certain mood because of the smell. They also, the chemical constituents of it, help protect the plant from harsh environmental conditions and insects, like diseases, things like that. So it's the plant's own medicine. It's how it protects itself. It can play a role in plant pollination, the scents as well. And it's so what we're doing in a sense is it's like plant medicine for itself, and we're taking out those medicinal qualities of each of those plants when we work with essential oils. So it's a volatile aromatic I can't even say it. Volatile aromatic compound. So what does that mean? It means that's tiny organic molecules that are known to quickly transform from their liquid or solid state into a gas when they reach room temperature. So when, in the case of the essential oils, some of them are more thin than others, like myrrh is a thicker, more viscous one. And the citrus, they come out really quickly. They're not so, they're thinner, I guess you could say. But all of them, if you just take like this is wild oil, if you just were to take the lid off, I can't help but smell it. And just left it here, it would evaporate actually pretty quickly. So when it's left out into the air. But the cool thing about these molecules being really tiny is that when they are absorbed into our body, and I'll talk about the different ways they get into our body a little bit later, when they're absorbed into our body, they are actually small enough to go into our cells, which is pretty amazing, because normally if we take drugs, they work around the cells. They can't actually go into the cells. And there are very few drugs that can cross the blood-brain barrier. These are so little, they get to all the places. And so they help us emotionally and with our health directly with our brain. And I'll talk some more about that later, as well as getting directly into those little cells to help us at the cellular level. So I'm going to try not to talk too much more about science, but those of you who are science geeks, there's lots of science around this, and I'm happy to get into science with those of you who like that. So for the history buffs, there's a historical use of essential oils. We can sometimes forget that right now because right now they are so popular. People are wondering, is this just a fad? And we're starting to hear about essential oils more and more, but they have been around for eons. There are lots of records. This is showing an hieroglyphic showing the use of using essential oils in Egypt. They've been were used a lot in Greece, in India, and in India, both with the Ayurvedic medicine, as well as use in terms of ceremony or with using for meditation. I love the sandalwood, the frankincense, the myrrh, and rose. Beautiful, beautiful ones that can just help us in our meditation, being calm, as well as healing. They've been used in China for years and years. France really developed, as part of the modern day usage of aromatherapy, and really developed aromatherapy as a field and a practice. So we have lots of historical records of how certain plants have been used throughout time to help us with our healing, with our moods, with us in our meditation, in every aspect of our lives. So why, for example, I've talked a little bit about moods, would we use essential oils to manage moods? One of the first things that we have to really get our hands on is that they're natural and they're safe. So that's really, really important. Now, when I'm talking about essential oils, I do want you to know that 80% of the essential oils on the market have other stuff in them, okay? So not all of them are natural and not all of them are safe. So you have to make sure that you're getting 100% pure, safe, natural essential oil. So as long as you're getting the real deal, totally natural, totally safe, it generates a quick response. And that goes back to the fact that it can go directly to our brain. It can go directly into our cells. So that's how we can get a quick response. And it's a very simple way to manage emotions. I mean, we can just simply open the bottle, crack open the orange, whatever it is, and start smelling. And so it's just where we can get that quick fix helping us out, which is really, really nice way to do that. There are many, many other ways to use essential oils. I use them throughout my day. I wake up with using essential oils. I use them then with eating. I use them for exercising with my joints. I use them to wake up in the afternoon when I need to keep going. I use them to calm and relax. So here's some of the different ways that they are commonly used is cooking. So again, if cooking, that means you have pure essential oils, therapeutic grade essential oils, no chemicals or anything in them. Really hard to find, but they are available. Digestion, super big. A lot of people fall in love with essential oils because it helps them with their digestion. Hair and skincare, that's what I use. Immune support, believe me, the immune support use is really strong right now because people are saying, hey, I need to protect myself, but I don't want to be surrounding myself with, bleach and chemicals and all the time, because I know that can have a negative effect on my health and on my hormones as well. So having this natural immune support is really cool. Household cleaning, that goes almost hand in hand with that, so that we can clean our house without hormone disruptors. So most hair and skincare products and household cleaning products have chemicals in them that disrupt our hormones. So number one, we want to not be disrupting our hormones, use something that's natural and safe. Neck and head tension, people use it for that all the time. Seasonal and environmental discomfort. You can hear me. I should have used my lemon, lavender, and peppermint for my allergies. There's just so beautiful outside, and everything's in bloom right now. And when I use it, I definitely feel much better, and it gets rid of that congestion for me. There are, as I talked about, many, many health benefits of the essential oils. They can soothe this occasional skin irritations. They promote healthy digestion. I already talked about that. But it's beyond just like overeating or a little upset stomach. They really help our digestive system function in optimal ways, because a lot of us have health issues that are related to our digestion. So for example, I have systemic inflammation issues. One of the ways it gets triggered is by when I eat preservatives in foods, or highly processed foods or chemicals in foods, and I have inflammation takes over. But when I'm at home alone, or just my family, I can control what I eat. But if I want to go out or go to somebody's home or just have a little treat or something, it's really challenging. But when I use the essential oils and the supplement products that come with them, my system can handle so much more. So I can treat myself. I can go out to eat at a restaurant. And so that's just one example of how deeply it goes beyond just like, oh, I have a little upset stomach, which it's great for that as well. Again, supports a healthy immune function. Could tell you a lot of stories about that as well. Promote restful sleep. We all, at some point or another could use help with restful sleep. So like myself, I actually sleep well, but like if I have hot flashes waking me up, and I know when I was, back in the day, like many of you, kids waking you up, we want to fall asleep as quickly as possible once we get to lie down, and we want to get into that deep sleep as quickly as possible. So I use the oils for that. Alleviate occasional stomach upset, and just so much more. It's just the tip of the iceberg of how essential oils can benefit us, our health. So here's some more ways that they help us on that emotional level. They are calming. And again, just imagine that smell of, crush some lavender, and you just feel more relaxed already. And then we talked about crushing peppermint. That's more energizing. Some clary sage, soothing, they're renewing, invigorating, uplifting. The citrus family is very uplifting in its quality, so it can really help lift our moods up as well. So many ways that we can very easily use the essential oils for our moods. So how do we use them? So that's what I was saying, like I talk about. So the three basic ways are aromatically, topically, and internally. So what I do want to say right here is that I want the oils to be safe for myself and for my family. I'm using them to go natural. So I'm super picky about what essential oil I use. So I only use the doTERRA essential oils because they're third-party tested. They're going to be safe. You don't have to worry about it batch after batch. There's some companies where some batches are good and some batches are not good. Some batches maybe are pure, but they don't have the medicinal effect because they weren't properly prepared and stored. So I know by third-party testing, scientific testing, that I can count on these oils. So I'm going to talk about each of these different ways. So aromatic use of essential oils, that's one of the simplest ways. As I said, open the bottle and smell. Crush the leaf or the rind and smell. But other ways, you can mix the oils with water in a spray bottle and mist over your carpet, your furniture, or other linens in the home, like serenity or lavender, on your pillow before going to bed at night. You can add a drop or two of essential oils to a homemade surface cleanser. And so think of that. Think of when you're cleaning your house, you're not feeling like you need to put on the mask and gloves because of the chemicals of the cleaning, but actually you're getting an uplifting benefit, a health benefit while you clean your house. I mean, how awesome is that? You can just simply place a drop of oil in your hand, rub the palms together, cup your hands, and this is how I start every day. After I get up, I put a drop of wild orange in my hand, rub it together, and then I combine some yoga and gratitude practice and the oils all together. So I inhale, bring my arms up and over and down, And I do that 3 times, and I'm thinking of everything that I'm grateful for. That's how I like to start my day. So that's the way, and of course using the diffusers are a great way for getting it in the air all the time. So topical use of essential oils, beneficial areas of neck. If I'm driving home late at night, not that I'm doing that much right at the moment, but when I used to do that more, and I'd feel tired, didn't want to reach for caffeine, I put peppermint on the back of my neck, all the way up there at my brainstem, and it just helps me stay alert and awake. Forehead and temples, chest and abdomen, arms, legs, bottom of the feet are great. The bottom of the feet the skin's a little thicker. So if you're not sure if your skin is sensitive, then you might want to start with it on the bottoms of your feet. You can also, and there are certain sensitive areas we want to avoid, like facial areas, like the skin close to the eyes, the inner ears, obviously not the eyes, broken or injured skin. You want to be careful. And if you have something like peppermint, which is super strong, you don't want to be rubbing your eyes right after that. Because it's just too strong and your eyes will not be happy, but don't worry, it goes away and it's just fine. And you actually use like a carrier oil, like fractionated coconut oil, to kind of help dilute it if you do accidentally get some in your eyes. Water doesn't work. That's a little safety tip for you there. But it's a great way, and you rub it in, and like say, you always start with a little tiny bit. Some people's skin is more sensitive than others, so some people need to dilute it with fractionated coconut oil. I'm able to put it on just anywhere, but again, I can go deeper into those tips at another time. So topical use, so other ways, put a few drops of oil in your bath. Yes, I mean, how wonderful is that? Make a hot or cold compress by soaking a cloth in water, add 2 drops of oil and apply to the desired area. And you can mix a few drops of essential oil with your lotion or a daily moisturizer and apply it to the skin. So you can do it as an add-on. And I actually use the doTERRA skincare products because it's already in there. I'm not such a big DIY person. Other people like to make it themselves. So something for everybody. Internal use. So again, this is, you'll sometimes hear conflicting information about whether or not it's safe to use essential oils internally. Well, let me tell you, you already are using essential oils internally. They are in a lot of our foods that we buy. So a lot of foods are flavored, that are some of the flavored drinks are flavored with essential oils. So there's a lot of things, we're already consuming it. Where the controversy comes in is you often will see other brands say do not consume. It's because they have chemicals in it. They have fillers. They have other stuff in it that we don't even really want on our skin either. So what I'm talking about are the oils that are safe for us, which it's just amazing, the health benefits. And there's been a lot of research on what some of these oils can do for us when we take them internally. So you can put them into a little veggie cap. If you don't want to take it directly, swallow with water, put it in your water, your smoothie, your milk, your tea, your other beverages. I do that sort of thing all the time. Got clementine in my water glass right now, very refreshing. Just mix it up really well so it doesn't stay on the top. You can put it into like your yogurt or applesauce, or like the blend On Guard, which has cinnamon and cloves and wild orange in it, is really nice. A little bit in oatmeal, for example, and then you get all your immune support and that strength building great goodness from having that additional taste. It helps me drink more water, quite frankly, because I enjoy the taste of it so much more. So that's a lot of information, so where should you start? And like I said, you can tell I have lots of favorites, but if you wanted me to tell you what are the, like 3 best oils, lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Lavender's everything soothing, lemon is everything cleansing, and peppermint is everything energizing. So let's break that down a little bit to just give you an example. So lemon, if you add lemon oil to a spray bottle of water, you can use it for cleaning. Remember, so it's all things cleaning. So it can clean the surfaces. It can also clean the air. So smelly air or you just, or bad vibes in the air. You want it to be uplifting vibes in the air. However you want to think of cleansing the air, it's going to create that uplifting environment when you diffuse it. You can put it in your water for a refreshing beverage, and it helps your body detox and cleanse. I start every single morning with, you can tell I have a nice little routine. So after I've done some other things, I go up and warm some water, and I put lemon in it, mix it up, and every morning that. And you can do the lemons also, the actual lemons. So if you're squeezing lemon, because the lemon peel has a little different properties than the inside of the lemon, than the lemon juice. So if you are squeezing it and you don't have the lemon oil, like, squeeze out the juice and then twist the peel and put it in there so that you'll actually get a little bit of the lemon in there as well. I love it because it's great for travel. So I just get that every day, flush, detox, cleanse. Lavender is great for the skin. It can help with imperfections or different skin irritations that people have. If you're out and bugs are biting you, or getting scratched from the berries or the bushes or whatever from gardening, put a little lavender on. It's just really great. You can put it in your diffuser to just relax, get rid of tension. A lot of people like it at nighttime. It helps them to sleep. So you can put it on the bottoms of your feet. You can diffuse it. You can put a little bit on your pillow. You can spray it on if you add it with a little water. So all things soothing. So again, it could be soothing, whether it's whatever it is, soothing the allergies, because of that the response we get helps to soothe that response, tamp it down. Everything soothing is lavender. Peppermint, so it can help with the breath. So that's part of its energizing effect, is it helps to clear the nasal passages. So I will put a drop under my tongue. Some people might find that too powerful and they want to mix it with some water, but I just put a little drop under my tongue and then swallow and then breathe deeply. And oh my gosh, it just clears my sinuses like you would not believe. It's just so invigorating and just wakes you up. You can put it in your shampoo or conditioner for a stimulating scalp hair massage, stimulate that hair growth. So peppermint's great. So a little note about concentration. If they are so concentrated, you hear me say, like, I put a drop in my hands, I put a drop in, the water. To get the benefit from the herbs, because herbs we know are also healthy and healing, and we want those as well in our lives. But for 1 drop of peppermint, you would have to drink like 30 to 40 cups of peppermint tea. Now, I couldn't, drink and be running to the bathroom all day, right? So I really like that I can just use 1 drop and I get all that benefit. So thank you so much. This is just kind of like just a little bit. Hope it was not too much, but gave you a good introduction of how we can use aroma and scents and essential oils in our lives to make us feel better, heal faster, be happier. And just like I said, I feel like I have found the fountain of youth between practicing my yoga and meditation, lifestyle, and the essential oils. I'm feeling younger. And I have my days, I'll be real. So I won't say every day, but in general, I'm feeling better and better all the time.
Nicole, thank you so much. I feel more imbalanced just listening and hearing about these holistic ways that we can, modulate and moderate our internal psyche and bodies, and just so grateful to you. So thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.